Oh, I apologise for being slightly late. A bit. No, it's the time. How bad? If you'd like to ask a question during the live stream, question in brackets, I'm just going to go grab my cup of tea. But my cup of tea. No, do not fall over. I'm okay. Hello. Hi. How's everyone doing? Hope you're alright. We're only going to be streaming for like an hour today, just because I'm super busy. We've got a lot of 3.13 content, which is taking a while to actually get together to come out, because we had obviously the Easter weekend, and it was a pretty busy time for me. But I also want to build, or at least mostly build, my new computer. I don't have the graphics card yet, but I do have the CPU now, and I can just port my old GPU across in the meantime. And Sin keeps on complaining that she needs a new processor, so I'm going to give her my 3950X, while I've upgraded to a 5950X myself. So yeah, boom. That should be pretty useful, and hopefully should allow us to have a bit better visuals for the videos, higher frame rates, better looking stuff. as we move towards trying to get everything in 4K. Is the idea for Star Citizen content. So yeah, the title of the stream, 3.13.0 is light on content, but, and there's a few buts there, but it's light on content. You can't ignore that. Okay, this patch, it's light on tangible new gameplay. There's a bit, but a lot of it doesn't have much purpose. And the but really there is that, yeah, 3.13 is light on content for actual tangible gameplay, but it's actually going a long way to advance the tech in the game. There's some bits and bobs going on here. I mean, stuff is visually better looking there's on the planets. And you've got all the new asteroids and a load of new assets, and you've got new caves. Yeah, cool. You've got some new missions, and the missions are... I have not played a functional, proper cave mission, combat cave mission, in the Wave 1 PTU build yet. I'm planning to do that today or tomorrow and play through a few of them, just to get a feel for them in a non-Eva Carty scenario. So I'll talk more about that when I've done them. But the addition of new missions is good and necessary. But there's no like new gameplay loops beyond that. And my worry is that the AI for the cave missions is going to be super dumb, super derpy, super dumb. Because basically it's NPCs that are in bunkers but in caves now, and caves are a bit more complex for them to navigate probably. So we'll see. We'll have a bit more of a play with that. Got sort of the shield effects and stuff like that. Cool. Sign distance fields are in, but they're buggy at the moment. Your sign distance field shield, if you go too fast, meow. That's a sign of a ship going fast. Those shields are left behind in the distance because the prediction's poor. I think that's what it is. It's sort of like generating them separately around the ship, and it's going, well, your ship's here, well, and then your shields are behind you. And that's what's happening there. Mining subcomponent stuff. Yes, important to have subcomponents, important to have that choice and customization. Don't have the rest of the mining gameplay to support it at the moment. So, is there much reason in using mining subcomponents for a lot of the stuff? No. But obviously that will change in the future. Reputation UI stuff, yeah. Reputation UI is good.
Be finished faster, please. Off topic, are you playing Outriders?
So, not playing Outriders yet. I'm going to get Zin to try it and tell me what she thinks. I'm happy to play Outriders. I really enjoyed Division 2 and Division. So it's basically just the same of that in the future to me. At the moment, me and Zin are finishing off a Valheim playthrough. And we just started what we're going to do in our spare time, a Journey to the Savage Planet playthrough. We will be recording that and putting some of the clips of that up on mostly as exclusive content, because we talk about some stuff there about Star Citizen and content and things as well, but obviously that's more extracurricular sort of videos from the channel at the moment anyway. But yeah, we'll be trying out Outriders. I'm neutral to it. I'll happily play it. I'm more of a social gamer anyway. I can't make the game be finished faster, unfortunately. I wish I could. One of the problems with Star Citizen is it's going to be an incredibly slow development. Yes, my Resident Evil umbrella shirt that I'm wearing is my my Rebellion shirt. I like to wear it just when I'm out and about, if I'm going to the post office or to see the doctor, as I did today. Just go, it's just COVID. Yeah, basically. Baz, 18D, thank you very much. The sub, very much appreciated. Premier Boris and Baz coming in with subs. I do appreciate you for those subs. Thank you. So Zin is I've forced her to play through more 3.13 to get more B-roll, which she's doing at the moment. And then after the stream, I do want to talk to her about her 3.13 experiences and mine. We'll just sort of do a quick off-the-cuff state of the game. And then I want to get some more actual tangible gameplay stuff. I'm looking at that patch and what we can do with it. probably tomorrow. Hello all you wonderful people, I'm fairly simple in what I enjoy with new patches. New content is always nice, but it's more enjoyable when there's a new ship or two to test out with it, so unless CIG is being cheeky, unveiling a ship, I may be waiting until 3.13.x. Yeah, so, obviously you've got the ROC DS, which is pretty lame as a vehicle, in my opinion, at the moment. I mean, when they talk about more what it's supposed to be, and maybe it's got more functions in the future, maybe they've got some plans for it in the future, maybe it'll come into its own. And they've got the Cyclone MT, but both really are pretty lackluster as new vehicles. We're obviously waiting for the Hercules C2 and M2, which are coming in the 3.13 patch cycle, so anytime within the next 3 months. And we've also got the ship-to-station docking and the Nova tank as well, as part of that cycle coming at somewhere. In my opinion, the ROC DS is a LTI token cash grab. Yeah, maybe. Certainly for some people that are going to be using it for tokens. Do you think Starlifters will have a docking collar, or do you think it will only be landable at extra large hangars? So yeah, it doesn't have a docking collar at the moment, does it? I think it's sort of fine for it to only land extra large hangars. It is supposed to be a ship that is a landy ship. Do you know what I mean? So it is quite suitable for landing on planets in extra large hangars, with my expectation. So I don't think it has a docking collar. I don't think they're going to rebuild it with a docking collar. That's a confirmation. Yeah, so we're moving over to. We want to move over fully to 4K videos rather than 1440p. However, there are much more Ks. There's 8Ks. There's 16Ks. Oh my god, all the Ks. I want stable servers. I want not to fall through the floor. What's keeping me? That's what's keeping me away. Yeah. So the 3.13 servers are in the PTU are relatively stable. I've had one crash so far. Zin's had one or two. So it's not particularly unstable build or anything. It's pretty stable. Obviously not perfectly stable or anything. He did, however, get teleported through my constellation when I was flying around it. So that's very much still there, unfortunately. The teleporting around, getting glitched through ships is pretty annoying. The ROC DS is kind of what they're thinking. I thought it was genuinely a April Fool's. Obviously it's not on sale yet. We haven't had any more information about it yet. So maybe we'll get a bit more in the very near future. Spawn closets. Well, let's see what happens with spawn closets, eh? They haven't, so they're not overtly used in 3.13 in any tangible way from what I can see at the moment, unless I've just totally missed that. Maybe I have. Mounted guards, meh. Force reactions, staggers with force reactions. Vehicle names and serial numbers, very light implementation of that. The names are very small on ships. Visual degradation for vehicles. It's cool looking, but you probably wouldn't notice it if you didn't know it was there. Or occasionally you go, oh, that's pretty cool. So it's not huge, but it's cool, and something they sort of like want to get in the proper damage system. In fact, I saw Zin's, she spawned a Hornet and it went mad in the hangar, just sort of glitching all over the place. And we could see some sort of quite cool damage tech on the ship from that. Merlin Constellation docking, long time coming. Glad it's in. It works. It's janky, but I suspect that will get fixed pretty quickly. The jankiness. I'm still waiting for ship-to-station docking in 3.13. Local MT's obviously in. Object push and pull. It's trolleys really for the most part at the moment. Important to get more objects in the game and push and pull for that sort of stuff. I understand that. However, pretty minor at this stage. So And then we're waiting for like a 3.13.x patch for the Tumble Nova and the M2 and C2. Now, I would say that that person that earlier said, was it Talonsbane? You're sort of correct in a new ship or two, or something quite exciting ship-wise, or vehicle-wise, an exciting one, is good to put in a patch, especially if it's a light patch. Because then a lot of focus is on that, and it goes, oh, this is pretty cool, this is pretty fun. Now, there's some other stuff in 3.13 that's cool, like, it looks now like after a ship release, there's a quarter of it being exclusive to a patch, and then it's available in-game to purchase in-game. That's what it looks like at the moment. That's what the sort of like last couple of, last few patches have sort of, no, not entirely, but that's what it looks like they're doing now. So the Mercury Star Runner is available in 3.13 to purchase, things like that. And the Nomads, and the Talons. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty useful. But there's also little tweaks, and the reputation system does go quite a bit further than just a UI for it. And so there's lots of important steps here for the sort of greater Star Citizen game, but not much tangible gameplay for us players. And I suspect content creators will get a bit sort of like, what's new here? And fortunately, I have the time to be able to sort of laser focus on some of that stuff that's new, because we can have a look at the visual degradation system and how that works in a bit more detail, and an object push and pull, and all these little features that we've got. We can look at them in a bit of detail, and we can sort of see how the minutiae of them can affect the game. I was hoping for a few more missions and some other bits. But there are some additions. There is some tangible gameplay. It's just not much. Yeah. Borgs too. Thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated, sir. I hope I'm not. Is the audio alright? Apologies if it's not. My voice very quiet. Sorry, I'm quite tired today. I'm only going to be streaming for a little while today. I'm pretty knackered. Sorry if my audio's... turn off this hissiness as well. I'm going to buy so many spaceships.
Cheers.
Oh! Baba Yaga. Oh, I'm not really doing anything to warrant donations, but I appreciate it. I mean, I'll thank you. Just my existence is clearly warrant for donations enough. Thank you, Baba Yaga. I appreciate it. Oh, you star. Thank you, thank you. Out of the loop for a while, how's server meshing coming along? Any news? So, server meshing and iCache is all sort of part of the persistent streaming and server meshing feature set now. And features that are being built now have iCache and server meshing and that greater tech in mind and are being built for it. So you'll notice some optimizations as we go along, for sure. And there will be an initial implementation of that more fully in the future. Once we have server meshing, that will be the 4.0 patch, and that will come with Pyro, and I think they've also sort of said refueling and potentially even deeper repair, but refueling gameplay sort of maybe coming around at the same time as well. We don't have any dates on that yet. I'm expecting a middle of next year sort of time for that, and it'll be static server meshing, but they haven't talked a huge amount about that. They are actively working on it. Games are pretty cool until you realise that meat is actually copies of the areas in prison. Yeah, so they are going to have more variety in caves, but and there's going to be more going on with them in the future. That's sort of okay. I mean, caves are just rock underground, or lack of rock. So I'm not drinking my cups of tea anymore. I do have tea. I've got jasmine green tea, which is nice. I enjoy it. But I've no more black tea with milk. Too much sugar and too much carbohydrates in semi-skim milk for my keto diet. Sorry, I was fractionally late earlier today. Yeah, so I've got a. I'm seeing the doctor at the moment because I've got a pain in my right side. They don't think it's anything too deadly, but they are having to run loads of random tests on me. So I'll keep you updated on that. I don't think I'm in any critical danger or anything. I think it's just like IBS or a muscle spasm or something. And my dad had something similar when he was young, so I suspect it is just that. I don't drink Yorkshire tea, unfortunately. I'm not a spiffing Brit Yorkshire tea fan, unfortunately. I'm a spiffing Brit fan. Do you think, given the recent negative community feedback on the ROC DS, there's a chance they'll change some aspect of it? Well, that's true of anything Star Citizen. Like, they do take feedback and they do evolve stuff. However, the feedback on the ROC DS is yet to be in context. So, Cloud Imperium have not talked to us about exactly what that ROC DS is. We're just assuming that it's a larger ROC with a second seat that someone has to crew to have the laser running. Now, that's what it appears to be, and then 2 ROCs are better. And this sort of ROC DS doesn't make much sense, and it's not great. However, there might be a load more going on with that. There might be it might be a utility craft for, yeah, it's called ROC Remote All Collector. But maybe it's going to be used for other utility platforms. Maybe the laser on there can, maybe it's a big laser for helping mine larger nodes. Yeah. But I agree at the moment, the ROC DS is a bit of a disappointment. Surprise! Nothing you wanted. Sort of disappointment. So the Origin 404 ship that they didn't show, yeah, could well be the Origin 400i that we might get relatively soon. Okay? Maybe. Maybe. What do you think is going to be the next big feature? So they're talking a lot about salvage and repair at the moment. I think that's the one that's going to get quite a lot of focus on. Salvage repair, and then gas mining and fuel is sort of like my expectation. Salvage, yeah. That's probably gameplay loop wise and akin to mining. That's probably what we'll see. I mean, there's a load of other stuff coming with medical gameplay. Is that going to be a fully defined gameplay loop by the end of the year? Maybe. Can you make money from it? Sort of how I define it as a loop. Would I be okay grinding it? Yeah, salvage repair. But a lot of the current gameplay loops that are only small, have only a little bit of flesh to them. They should get a lot more flesh to their bones later this year. I'm sort of hoping that damage control becomes a thing sooner rather than later. But I think maybe they want physicalized components of that, because I want to see fire start breaking out on ships, and I want to see the fire extinguishers that they've got planned for 3.16 functional for that purpose, rather than just removing fire from like a mission site. Hey Bored, do you know when they will fix the lifts on the 600i Constellation and others? So, I know that... So 3.13 has some fixes for some of the lifts in. Will they hold and actually be proper for a live build? Only time will tell. Yeah, it's sort of a shame that they didn't get a ship, a proper new ship in. Like, didn't get the Hercules in. They didn't get the Nova tank in. They would have kept me pretty busy. And even ship to station docking would have been good. But obviously 3.13 later in the branch, the cycle. Did they extend the PTU? So the PTU dates on the PTU thing on the website are sort of irrelevant. We're currently in first wave PTU, expecting open PTU by the end of the week, if not live. But that's going to be dependent on what happens with the patch, for sure. There's problems that can occur. I think I've got a 3080 coming to me. I'll have to double check again. I had so many problems with 38, then upgrading it to 3090, and they still didn't have them in, and lots of stuff. So I'm not sure what I ended up with. But I haven't got my GPU yet. Don't worry, as soon as I do, I'll run it through a full set of tests relatively vigorously. Is there any plans to make more delivery missions with back pay? Yes, in the future, but obviously in the future it's going to be much more dynamic, the universe as well, so prices will change. And there'll be some very valuable missions that you'll be able to take. In the short term, we don't 100% know yet. They could tweak some of the PTU stuff. Like, I want delivery missions to be relatively good price-wise. Like, you should be able to make a good amount of money from it. Or you should get bonuses based on how quickly you do it and how much you chain them. But reputation systems partly to do with that as well. So you do a load of delivery missions for the same sort of company. You're going to be earning more money every mission. Is there going to be a X patch? Yes. 3.13.x. So there could be multiple. It could be 3.13, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's a load of bug fixes. There's genuinely a load of bug fixes in 3.13. The performance isn't great. Stability seems right, but Zin's frame rate's like deathly low. Mine was low, and then I relogged, and it's sort of okay, but it's not great. Definitely lower. It's trading fixed now. So from what I could see, I can trade properly in my Mercury Star Runner. I have not tried it in bigger ships beyond that, trying to buy all of the cargo, but I was able to buy and sell cargo in various locations pretty simply and pretty easily. Do you think there's a chance for a last second ship for 3.13? There is a chance. What do you think about the new update for the mining arm for the mining card? What are you talking about, the ROC DS there? Is there a lot of people on the PTU are saying that cargo hauling will be still balked in the live because the PTU isn't connected to the persistence they have in game? Thoughts on this? It's a maybe. I assume that Cloud Imperium are aware that they need to hook up the persistent database correctly for buying and selling cargo. Make sure that it wasn't in 3.12. Wasn't in 3.12 when I was testing out cargo. I'll get Zin to sanity check me on that. Oh yeah, so that was a thing that we saw in this week's newsletter. So they're starting to tease Invictus launch week, which should be at the end of May. So that's potentially one of the biggest events in Star Citizen each year. And it appears this year it is going to be at Microtech on New Babbage. On Microtech at New Babbage. That's a little sneak peek there. That'll be cool. It's cool because it's an icy planet. So really looking forward to that. There'll be free fly. There'll be a load of ships. There'll be new ships. There might be some other event stuff going on. I mean, last year's Fleet Week was when we saw the Javelin and the Idris flying around, and people could fight them for the first time, and there's a lot of stuff that wasn't intended, but that's what I like. And putting new stuff in, and people going, oh my god, we can steal them! Oh, there's these ships so we can fight them, and things like that. It was absolutely great.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Is the background sound okay now? Might have had some mic problems, I just didn't notice. Does anyone believe that the 400 series 400i could come live with this patch? It's possible. I mean, it's possible, isn't it? Unrelated. What are they fixing? But are they fixing the flickering shadows on the white ships, especially the 600i? Is that sort of Z fighting flickering? Yes, the Origin 404 ship not found was indeed an April Fool's joke. But the model they used that was made invisible looks like it could have been the 400i. Maybe. Or a Constellation. We'll be able to name the ground vehicles eventually. Also, what will you name your ROC DS? I think we're able to name our ground vehicles, but I'm not 100% sure anymore. It's supposed to be the vehicles. So, actually, no. What's the name? What's the actual name of the feature? Vehicle. It's vehicle names. It is vehicle names. Thank you very much, Jake Short J. Appreciate the sub. Thank you. Thank you. From what you saw, is the shield hole issue fixed? It's different now. There's a whole new shield problem. So, you've got sign distance fields, and they form around the ship. However, if you travel too fast, your shield lags behind you. So, not ideal. It's a bug. Pyro delayed. Pyro's coming in 4.0. We don't know when 4.0 is coming. So, I'm expecting at the moment middle of next year. Will dock ships be able to travel together, or will they just rip apart? So, obviously with the Constellation and the P-52, it can dock with it and quantum travel with together. I think that larger ships that are docked together probably won't be able to quantum, unless the other ship is detached. Probably won't even let you quantum. But we don't know yet, because we don't have ship-to-ship docking like that yet. What ship will we see at Invictus Week? I mean, so Invictus is typically combat or support ship orientated. But there could be other stuff as well going on with that. Like you could see a mobile refinery marketed as a support ship sort of thing. Don't 100% know. I mean, I'd love to see Titan suits. That's something I've wanted to see for ages. Quantum sensitive box missions. Does the Mercury Star Runner Smuggler's Hold count as a quantum travel shielded storage? No, you can't quantum travel full stop. You've got to travel by your jet engines, by your standard engines. No quantum traveling for you, Sonny. For me, the performance on the PTUs are up. It seems to use more of my PC, my CPU for better performance. So that, I mean, that could literally be it. It could be offloading, and I say incorrectly offloading some of its resources to the CPU rather than GPU, which is why Zin's having a hard time. The CPU is poor, but the GPU is good. I thought 3.13 only used sign distance fields for visual shields. As far as I was aware, 3.13 was supposed to have the sign distance field tech upgrades and the visual effects, both. But at the moment, I can tell you from 3.13, the shields are lagging behind the ship. And if you go too fast, not in every situation, but in a lot of situations. So you basically have no shields at those speeds. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for lots of people joining me. Very appreciated. As I said, I'm not going to be online for too long today, because I've got quite a bit of work to do. Got to build a new computer. Need to get some content out with this in. Roadmap release view shows it for 3.14 though. And what's shown in 3.14? It's possible that I'm just wrong. So what's being shown in 3.14? The sign distance field. Shield systems tech replacements. Oh, so maybe I'm incorrect. Adapt shields code to determine the shields hits based off dynamically contoured shield things. So, from 3.13, the shields are lagging behind the ships when you're flying around. So in 3.13, we're getting just the... Is it just the visuals, or some updated visuals for shields, as a step towards Scientist's Field shield tech replacement? Okay. So, but at the moment, you're flying around, you go too fast, shield's lagging behind. So it's a different thing from shield holes. So maybe it's a step towards Scientist's Field shields. That's weird, though. Why would they have it as two separate things? Because it's visually different now. Okay. Maybe I'm incorrect with that then. I need to get more information then on what that actual feature is. So Shield of XV2. Implementing improvements including the use of particles and side distance fields to allow shields to be more closely conformed to the shape of vehicle. So that is the side distance field tech. But they're still bubbled. And they don't conform to damage. And then the shield system's tech replacement. Adapt shield code to determine shield hits based off dynamically contoured shield meshes for accurate combat gameplay to eliminate possibility of weak spots in shields. This extends shield tech to entities beyond just vehicles. So what 3.13 certainly definitely has some of the side distance field shield tech starting to come into it. And definitely. You can visually see it. And the shields have changed because they, as I said, they lag behind. Yeah, they're doing it in 2 steps. I'll get some more information on that because that is not clear exactly what the 2 differences are and what they're doing. The roadmap isn't update. We are getting a big roadmap update to... What day is it today? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? It's Tuesday. Tomorrow, we're getting a big roadmap update. So they're adding 30 more teams, 100 more features, or something like that. It's obviously to the progress view and the release view, not both. Not all to the release view or anything. Have you noticed any frame rate increase in 3.13? No. So I've noticed potentially a little drop for mine. Zin has noticed at the moment she's getting quite bad frames. And I'm thinking maybe it's because they've offloaded some resources to the CPU by accident, or just a different way of sort of balancing resources. Do you think CIG has lost focus, or have they discovered this game is beyond their capabilities? Great. No, I don't think either. It's taking a long time to create it. They've got the time to do that. They've got a huge amount of teams all working on different elements of the game. I think they've got focus on it. I think you could probably say, have they got stronger focus as they should have on the monthly releases? And you could debate that for ages, saying, well, they need to release tangible gameplay and interesting things from the patches, but also they need to create the game, and there's lots of stuff that they need to work on beyond what they can get in a single patch or a quarterly release that's sort of like deeper tech. So I certainly think there's a conversation to be had there. Do you think they'll ever put in some form of trailer that you could just pull behind an Ursa or a Cyclone? So trolleys that we've got in 3.13 and the push-pull tech, would it make it... They would be able to do that if they wanted to. I don't think there are any plans for that at the moment. Do you think we can expect more interesting salvage and repair mechanics? Yes. I mean, they're going to start with the salvage and repair in 3.15's... 3.15 is the current plan. And that will expand out like mining did, in my opinion. So we should get damage control, so fires breaking out on ships for repair, and you having to repair relay points as well as individual components. You have to deal with like the oxygen depleting of a ship and life support, things like that, while repairing the hull, repairing individual components, rerouting stuff. Salvage should be... There's lots of different types of salvage. There's siphoning of gases and liquids. There's the removal of components. There's the stripping of hulls, and there's the individual sort of like crunching and crushing of blocks of salvage. Some of which is done by hand, and some of which is done by ship, and some bits are aided by someone EVAing off and maybe using salvage charges to blow parts off a ship. Or do you think it'll be ever more interesting, like adding and removing plates instead of just a beam of goo and metal? There's the cutting tool for removing bits, and there's going to be removing of components. So hopefully it's not just, I've prepared my ship hull with my magic beam. But the first implementation of that might be similar to magic beam tech. Do you think the allocation of human resources so far makes sense? Are they focusing the right amount of manpower to core items? Don't know, because I haven't got the full breakdown of that. However, there is a big roadmap update tomorrow. So I'll look at, I will genuinely put that on my list of important questions. Look at what is available there to work out, and probably send some questions to CIG saying, how many devs are how many employees do you have? How many devs are working on the game? So they can work out how many people are developers and how many people are not, and then try and get a breakdown of the teams. I think that's a pretty good idea. Not like not a minutia detail, but just how many people are on each team, sort of thing. Are they focusing on the right amount of manpower on core items? Still not sure how to make. Well, they're making them. It's just taking a long time. Do CIG work in a timely manner? No, they're slow. Potentially by design. I'm pleased with this patch. I know not a lot, but an alpha sometimes you need a patch that lays on fundamentals. And maybe that's what this is. And if it comes out and it's super stable, it's got great cargo gameplay again, it's got good frame rates, and makes everything a bit more playable, great. But if it's not much new content and same old bugs and poor performance and stability and cargo doesn't work, then I'm going to be a bit upset. So, bear with me 1 second, I'm just going to use the toilet. I've returned. Are there any updates on buyback tokens, distribution tokens? CIG is late as always. You should be getting them this week. It should be distributed this week, as far as I'm aware. Is the AI greeter in New Babbage going to have some more dad jokes, as I'm bored of all the ones she currently has? So that's Anna. I can't say her second name because I'm bad. I talk to her occasionally on Twitter. Hopefully she'll get some more voice lines added to that. That'd be great. We don't know when 3.13 is going to open PTU or live. It looks like obviously it will go to a wider audience by the end of the week. And I think they're trying to get live either at the end of this week or the end of next week. It's probably the most likely. Middle of the month, typically new flare drops for RSI subscribers, and that's the Star Kitten helmets this time. What will fix the physics jankiness in vehicles, cargo bays, and other ground vehicles? So some of that stuff they are working on fixing. Some of it requires a bit of a physics rejig and overhaul for ground vehicles. But generally, them getting their prediction and netcode in order will help a lot. But physics code and network code, stuff that is being worked on. Is there any info when CIG will start to work on optimization? So, I mean, they try to optimize each patch to a certain level. Sort of like they add a load of stuff, it causes loads of bugs and performance issues, and they sort of bring it back up to a viable standard for them. They are also working on the Gen 12 renderer and Vulkan integration and some other optimizations, which we will see later this year, or we should see later this year, which should be quite impressive. Did they get the Constellation Taurus in? So that's a 3.14 ship, I believe, at the moment. So yeah, 3.14, end of June. That's when they're planning to have the Constellation Taurus. Are you looking forward to the ease of lockdown in the UK? Yes. Although I am on keto now as a diet, so I can't really drink alcohol. So it's a bit upsetting. What do you think are the blockers to adding the mission you're using on B-roll to the persistent universe? That is a really good question. So,
Feel better. I want longer live streams.
I will feel better soon. I'm sorry, Elf, Wizard of Chaos. I love you. I appreciate the donation. I'm tired. I feel rough, and I've got lots to do. Otherwise, I'd stream for longer. But I thought I'd turn up to at least say hi and stream for a bit. Well, thank you so much. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. So, this mission is the second, potentially, of mission in a sort of series of them. So the first part of a mission, what we can discern is, you don't necessarily have to do that part yourself, is the stealing of an ID and uniform for a microtech lab. And then this part of the mission is to infiltrate the lab and steal some data and take it to the virus system. So they need NPCs to be able to treat you as a friendly, and then be able to treat you as a hostile if you mess up, and have systems to support that. So if you're walking around and they recognize you, you get too close to one of them, or you get spotted stealing the data, then all hell breaks loose. And I think that's partly in one of the features that they've got listed. Actually, do they have it listed? The security areas. So there's areas that they're planning to put in this year, I believe. It's sort of like that will treat you as a trespasser, but not give you a criminal rating and things like that. So they've got some of this stuff coming later this year. Can't remember what the feature was called. That is partly because I'm not in my right mind. So they are planning that stuff, and I believe that's coming this year. That's the sort of thing they need to get this in. They've got the NPCs, and they've got the basics of the missions and tech and stuff. And we can see that obviously they've got the location and everything, that might need a bit of tweaking. But, they just need the NPCs to react to you being oh, he's no longer one of us, he's now an enemy, or whatever. Cookies or biscuits for tea? Neither. Better enjoy the cuppa just by itself. They show places to put suits in ships, but currently I see no reason to take off helmets. Do you think they'll add reasons to change out of suits? Yes, I think they will add reasons to change out of suits. Not 100% sure how they're going to do it yet, and they could have cause the stuff to degrade. Because they also want you to be able to hold your helmet to the side and things like that. So I would have been your daddy. I don't know why I said that in a Narni voice, but I did. No. Talked about that already. Talked about that. And when do you think we'll get another update on iCache and server meshing? Hopefully tomorrow with the roadmap updates. They should give us some more information. Other than that, I'm expecting probably quite a big update when they have what they've got planned for CitizenCon this year, even if it's just a virtual event. So yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting Pyro this year. It looks more like towards the middle of next year. Bored with trading until they have a fully fleshed out game. Do you think they should just make the trading unlimited or a massive number? I do think they should make it a massive number. I just wish they had a very simple dynamic system that the more you sold, the less it was worth. They'd accept any amount, but they had a huge amount of storage, which they consumed relatively quickly. But the more they had, the sort of just the less they paid for it. Are we getting Invictus Week again soon? End of May is what it should be. Although we did see a little teaser for it recently. But yes, I would want trading to be I want it to be a playable gameplay loop, even if it's bodged to work. Do you think Cloud Imperium will receive some legitimate backlash if Squadron 42 is not out by 2023? Yes. Yes. From me as well. I mean, I'm okay with CIG taking time. And I'm okay with them building a game that they want. But I mean, come on. For a long time. I'll be upset if Squadron 42 is not out in 2022. Will the Hercules have room for your harem? Maybe. I mean, how big is your harem? How long is a piece of string? Is yours non-existent? How do you claim a destroyed P-52? Does it appear when you repair your colony? So there's... It's a good question. I've not individually tried it. Do you still fall out of your ship mode quantum jump? Yes. Can I have sandwich, please? Yes, you can. I'm not allowed sandwiches on Keto. Hey BG, do you have any insight or understanding on mining nodes? How algorithms might work? No, I don't. I don't know how they work, and they change them from patch to patch. I can get some answers on it. I do think that they... I think they appear and regenerate when there's no one in the area. And as you turn up to a new area, they sort of populate at the moment. What is the potential loan of a Titan suit? That's a good question. P.S. This patch sucks. It's light on content. It is light on content, and there is some cool stuff in there, but it is, it's just a shame that some of the 3.13.x content isn't in there as well to distract us from a lighter content patch. And yeah, as I said earlier, if they can get a load of the gameplay loops accessible and good performance in, yeah, I'll be like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there that's building towards some much cooler things, and Any word on CitizenCon 2021? No. So we heard some bits like Cloud Imperium had booked the LA Convention Center for the 7th of August. So, but we haven't had anything beyond that. And I'm thinking we'll probably have a virtual event for CitizenCon this year, but we'll have to wait and see. How am I doing? I'm alright. I'm pretty tired. I'm not streaming for very long today. Got a huge amount to do, and I'm going to start building my computer as well and things like that. You think there'll be more basic cat-like ships with no quantum that stay on planets and will be carried around the verse with quantum carriers? So snubs and ships without quantums, it's certainly possible to have more like that. Car-like, I understand what you meant. Do you think that we'll get the Hercules and Nova with a Fleet Week patch? Very likely. Yes, the Z fighting flickering, I believe. Spiky shadows on ships. Okay, yeah. I hope they fix that. I haven't noticed it in 3.13, but I haven't been looking for it. Are you familiar with the Pluto sphere? It is the shadow killer. What? Where distortion weapons... were distortion weapons were balanced in 3.13. I haven't looked at metastats yet. Do you think the salvage and medical are above all other space games? On paper, yes. In practice, we haven't got them yet. For the Xeno threat, I bought a Retaliator in-game, but it made me feel the gameplay was extremely boring. Do you think the gameplay for bombers will become more challenging, and if so, how? So there's definitely going to be reasons to use bombers and bring bombers out. And when enemies are able to target and prioritize bombers and torpedoes much more readily, and you have to take out fences and stuff like that, and damage appropriate parts of a ship before bringing bombers in, and I think that's important, and that will make the gameplay more interesting. Has anything been done to make medical ships useful beyond spawning points? Not yet. As someone that doesn't get to play very often, as I'm in college, what do you suggest doing when I get time to play? Sightsee. So just test out the new content, the big ticket items in each patch. If you don't have very long to play. Hey Bored, not sure if you're into trading, but have you looked at the commodities and prices? I have not worked out. I haven't looked at the prices yet to work out if it's viable, because they change and tweak them during PTU as well. But I will for the live build for sure. Where do you think Elite Dangerous Odyssey will compare to Star Citizen? Well, Elite Dangerous Odyssey will be a completed game, and probably be pretty good and pretty fun. I think that's going to be pretty fun, but it's not going to have the sort of depth that the Star Citizen's going for, or the detail. It's going to be very shallow, comparatively. Obviously, if you compare it to Star Citizen now, to Elite Dangerous Odyssey now, then Elite Dangerous Odyssey is still going to be, well, not as shallow as Star Citizen, because it's complete. It's got complete gameplay loops that support each other. You can drink hard liquor on keto. Can you? That doesn't seem viable to me. Do you know where to locate the new manned turrets? Salvage, the little salvage yards have them. That's what I've seen them. Do you think we'll see the introduction of new medium refueling ships? It's possible. We could have a gas miner refueler. I mean, you can also argue that the Vulcan is already a medium-sized refueling ship. Will we see things like a loss of cabin pressure due to a ship view screen breaking off during combat? So, the cabin pressure in fighters, you're effectively an EVA as soon as... I don't know. There's no new updates on the F7A upgrade kit. I do believe, though, it's just going to be a visual, like, paint. More than anything else. Is Chris Roberts still demanding to be able to see what another person or NPC does on screen? Been a couple of years since I heard that. I don't think he's as aggressive a micromanager as he used to be, and I think he is letting the teams and the team leads do what they need to do. But I will try and find out at some point. The people I talk to at CIG are always pretty positive of Chris. How's my father doing? He's doing very well, thank you. His target treatment's going fantastically. Like, effectively a miracle for us. So, thank you for asking. Do you think we'll be able to set private beacons that allow you to find your Connie again whenever you travel away from your island? So, I think the idea is that they desperately, we desperately need the ability to be able to see our assets wherever they are in the verse, and they are making an asset management tool, so you can see where your assets are. Cool. So I want to see where my Connie is, or I don't want to see where my Connie is anymore. Boom, filter it. Cool, perfect. But we need to be able to set up. We need to be able to set locations, save locations, share locational data, and navigate better in the verse, and travel to those points. Yeah. That is important. We know they're working on a new star map. We know they're working on some ways of sharing coordinates and that sort of stuff as well, so that's good. But we still need it ASAP. I was hearing of a cloud gaming service called Plutosphere. Thank you. I will check them out. Thanks. I'll check them out. Is Zin the correct spelling of her name? Zinnia. It is like this. Zinnia. It's lowercase as well, the way she spells it. I don't have any info on Plutosphere yet, but I will check them out. I'll give them. I'll message them. I think he's right. You can drink limited amounts of liquor on keto. Look up the carbs. Okay, I will. I just assumed they were super carbohydrate-y. Have you been successful in getting a trolley onto a Connie or other ships with the cargo bay elevator? Oh, I've only pushed them up ramps. Well, that's not entirely true. Janked them up ramps cleverly. Ah, Sarge, thank you very much, sir. 13 months of bald loving. Nice. Thanks, buddy. Hope you are doing well, sir. So yeah, the I've sort of janked trolleys into ships. We'll be doing some gameplay and focusing on them later this week. Although there's so much stuff in 3.13 which doesn't have much use. That's why one of the reasons I say it's a light patch, because yes, eventually it probably will. Like taking the medipens to a physical item is great, but it just adds an extra step that isn't necessary yet. It hasn't got any more tangible gameplay to. Now you pull out a medipen and it's an actual item you can mess around with. The mining sub components just don't have much function yet, really, although they are there. And staggers, yeah, very minor, and the new missions, yeah, some cool bits. The visual updates are actually pretty good, but you don't really notice them if you just jump back and go, oh, Star Citizen still looks pretty. There's just so many of these things that are just cool little updates and potentially important improvements, but it is very light on content. 3.13, very yeah, go on your missions, and we're looking at those. And yeah, some of them are okay. Reputation system's probably the biggest thing. Can I stab my friends with a medipen? Not yet. You should be able to in 3.14. So 3.14 has a load of the medical gameplay in. Say load. I didn't think you could stab friends. I didn't think you could use the medipen properly on other people yet. Until 3.14. It was not working when I was trying it. You can just... Or can you just stab friends? So yeah, 3.14 is where all the medical gameplay is coming in with the medical gun and I think some player status updates as well. No, you can just stab friends generally. Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, you can't use their medipen on them properly yet. You can give them your medipen. You can give them your medipens now. Will vending machines work at some point that we can get food and drink? Yes. I actually wanted that in a while ago and then deprioritized it. And they got the vending machines in for the commissary in prisons. But yes, you will have proper vending machines in game. That's the plan. Question: I can't remember if you drink coffee. If so, what's an espresso? So talk to Zin. One second. Let me grab Zin in here briefly. See if she's around. Zin, I brought you into the live stream. Are you there?
I am here.
Nespresso. Your thoughts on Nespresso?
I've never used it.
What one do you use? What thing do you have?
Well, I had a Tassimo, which was alright, but I like proper coffee, so I ended up getting a bean to cup machine.
Get a bean to cup machine. That is Zin's.
Honestly, if you drink a lot of coffee and like are able to drink a lot of coffee at home, it's worth it. Like mine cost, I got it secondhand refurbished. It was like 300 odd quid, but it's well made its money by now.
See, that is Zin's coffee advice. I thought I'd start answering this, but I think mine would just be look at the reviews, get one if you like it. Zin's got more experience.
Yeah, well, not only that, but you still need to do maintenance. But like on my machine, the maintenance on it is pretty simple. You just every now and then it'll beep at you, and you got to put some cleaning stuff in the water tank and just run a program.
Zin sounds tired. No, Zin's I'm telling Zin to get certain footage and B-roll, so she's probably just like frustrated with 3.13. How's 3.13 going for you?
It's all right. No, I've got a bit of a headache, but it's okay. I've taken painkillers, which are sort of making me a bit
No worries. I'm also
Yeah, well, I've just finished the little short, and then I'm gonna go jump back in and do more stuff.
No worries. Well, you've had your lunch already, yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream for like 15 minutes more, and then we'll record first sort of impressions of 3.13 PTU, state of the PTU, and talk about your experiences and what was frustrating and what you've enjoyed so far, and then what we're going to be checking out this week, sort of thing.
Mhm.
And then we'll probably finish off the last half an hour with Jenny to the Savage Planet or something. Zin, don't you worry. I look after my employees with games. Don't you worry. I got your back. See you, Zin. Love you, Zin. See you in a bit. We appreciate your love. Thank you. She will be in the streams more often. Just at the moment, but today especially working. I appreciate all the love. Any predictions for the 20+ teams being dropped to the roadmap tomorrow? It's supposed to be some of the, as far as I was aware, some of the tech teams doing things like server meshing and things like that. and the downstream teams. So hopefully there'll be some big updates there. Maybe get some new features onto the release view as well. Maybe some stuff will move, maybe some stuff will get delayed. We'll see. Really looking forward to it, though. It'll be a big update. Player revive's coming. Yes, so I'm expecting that with 3.14 because they want players to be knocked down and injured and then to be revivable still, get upable. There's medical gameplay around that as well. What's the big system we're waiting for to improve performance? So it's a mixture of getting servers in a better state, netcode, and Vulkan and General Romero stuff, all of it. Has there been any work getting on getting the ROC to fit in ships better? They are tweaking some of the physics grid stuff and doing a bit of a overhaul to the ground physics, and I would assume physics grid, physics for the vehicles and ships at the moment. Do you think Squadron 42 or Star Citizen will be coming out before 2025? Squadron 42, yes. Star Citizen, I would hope it would be in beta by 2025. Mute your mic when you fart, mate. I haven't farted. I will be proud when I fart. It might be the sound of me moving the mic or the sound of me moving in the chair. But if I let rip, I will tell you. And I'll go like that as well. Okay, that's how you'll know. Do you still estimate Star Citizen release in 2025? I would hope that we were at least in the stage of beta. It's a possibility of hoping Star Citizen's released. We're halfway through the decade. Oh my god, it's taken a long time. Where do you store all your recorded videos? So we store them. Some are on my PC, some are on Zin's PC, and lots of them are on a cloud. Right. Do we have any more questions I can answer quickly? Because I want to, as I said in a bit, I want to start building my PC with my 5950X. I don't have my GPU yet still, after over 6 months of waiting. I bought them when they were in stock as well. And they went, oh, sorry, we don't have them in stock anymore. You can wait in the queue. I don't really want to do that, seeing I bought them in stock. I'm using the queue. 46, okay. Still haven't got them through. They haven't had any, apparently. The UK's largest supplier of them that are fulfilling orders to other people. Still haven't fulfilled mine, it looks like. Huh. Looks weird to me. Did he answer the 400i one? So I think I think it's a possibility that the 404, the model they used for that was obviously invisible, could have well been the 400i. My 5800X is really great at running the PT at the moment. Okay, that's good to hear. Is Squadron 42 going to be an open beta? No, not as far as we're aware. The last we had on any form of testing before the game goes live, more public, is that it could go, just before it goes to release, it could go to the EVA CAR-T for some stress testing. But that's not a confirmation at all either. That was just an off-the-cuff comment from Erin, I think. Space dog or space cat? Space cat. Is it possible to land and explore these large cities on foot yet? So parts of them, yes. The Arc Corp. So you can land on the roofs, and you can fly around and have a look, and you can land on the roofs, and you can land at the main landing zone there. But you can't really walk on Arc Corp yet beyond that, and there might be some other landing zones in the future and some other places that you can move around. They aren't planning to have these huge hub planets entirely travelable, move aroundable, sort of walk aroundable and explore. It's just not the plans. Tried some Semiticone. Might help with the diet, change in diet. Don't know. I'll have a look. But I so at the moment I'm very tired and have a headache. I've got two 980 Ti's and SLI playing the game. Now I've had to replace them. Indeed. If you fight, you might get bigger donations. I know, right? I've seen. But also you could get banned now. Year on year, the community engagement on Spectrum seems to be slowing down. Do you think so? Do you not think it's speeding up? Do you think it's Spectrum or the community as a whole that's having an effect on engagement? I don't know. I obviously see stuff different to you. If you carrack and fly around, how do you find it? Well, it's still marked on your radar, and in the future you'll be able to have an asset list. Do you think Star Citizen will ever come to Google Stadia? I don't know. I don't know about the... Do we think that Amazon will have a game streaming service in the future? More likely to go to that if they did, but I think they're going to be targeting people's rigs. Oh, Trip Rodriguez, thank you so much for the host. I am stopping relatively soon, though. Thank you. How am I? I'm doing okay. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to have a little tiny lie down after the stream. Then finish off a video or two with Zin. And then build a PC. Oh yeah, Stadia's shutting down anyway. I was talking about more cloud streaming and GeForce Now platforms in general. Right. I really appreciate the raid trip. But I am going to have to pass the raid on to another content creator. I apologise. But yeah, so should have wider PTU by the end of the week. We're going to be focusing on some gameplay later on this week for 3.13 as well. I'll try, if people are up for it, I'll try and get some actual live gameplay with Zin later this week or the weekend as well. Any idea how many ships we'll get to fly in Squadron 42? No, we don't know. It's going to be Wing Commander-esque though, so take that as you want. Is there any way to save your overclocking profile and power management on your ship? Not properly yet. In the future, yes. Do you think the refueling game mechanic will actually be fun? I think it will be fun for some people. They'll iterate on it as well. Some people just like making money in games. So I really like Shadow as a cloud gaming service provider, and once I know that their future is secure and stable, and they've got plans and they're not going to like fold or collapse or anything, then I'll start promoting them again. I like the idea of having your own Windows 10 environment that you can do anything with as a cloud stream thing. When I got raided, I was planning to log off 2 minutes later. Stuck around for an extra hour or so because of it. I'm glad you're doing well, sir. Hope you're okay. Well, I do not have the ability to do such a thing. I am a terrible streamer and content creator. I do apologise. So 3.13, bit of a disappointment overall. And I do think that's actually partly because we didn't have an interesting ship to tour and have a look at and get involved with. I'm not super impressed with the Cyclone MT or the ROC DS yet. But maybe we'll find some more stuff out in the future. I sent you a DM with some good info and some bad alcohols for Keto. Ted, you are a legend. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. That's good. Because I would like to be able to go out next week and go to the pub once with my friends. That'd be cool. But yes, thanks very much for... Oh, no, we'll do a couple more questions. There's more coming through. Is ship maintenance going to be expensive with components and subcomponents and other additions? We don't 100% know yet. It's going to be dependent on the amount of damage you take and where you go for the repairs, we think. Has there been any talk about NPC ships flying around eventually? Hubs like ArcCorp will empty? Yes, there are supposed to be NPC ships flying around. They want to have them landing and taking off and going places, and this is going to be partly due to with the quantum system and the dynamic universe simulation and probability volumes working out where NPCs should be and where and why, and that sort of visually displaying that. But yes, ports should feel busy even if there's only you there as a player, and then there would be lots of NPCs still. Right. I am going to go and host someone else because I am only able to stream very briefly today because I have so much to do. But sorry for that. I appreciate the people turning up and watching. It is very much appreciated. I will give Moist Noodle some love. But yes, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciated. Peace. Take care, all of you. Yeah. Take care. Thanks for watching. And see you in the verse. Some more videos coming out later today.